Hello and welcome to Stay Paid, the sales and marketing podcast from ReminderMedia, where we bring you actionable advice to help you grow your business so you can live a life of freedom tomorrow, but only if you take action today. My name is Joshua Stike, and I am joined, as always, by Luke Acree. How's it going, Luke?
I am exhausted. We got delayed. How many hours we get delayed? 4.5 hours?
We were supposed to leave at 4.
4?
And we took 4:30, and we took off. What time did we take off in the air then? 8:40.
There's
so
nothing
we sat
like
on the
being
tarmac
stuck
for
on
2.5
a
hours.
plane on a tarmac for 2.5 hours with hundreds of people.
But it's funny, they wait as long as possible to tell you what's happening. Like, we taxied around for like a really long time.
Yeah, we did. It felt like we were going to take off. I was like, we can do this.
And then the pilot came on and said, we won't have an update for 30 minutes. And then there was 30 minutes again, and then the next one was an hour update.
And you could tell people, I could tell Josh here, he doesn't like closed-in spaces. He doesn't like people. He likes to be alone.
I love the people I know.
Yeah, being in a closed-in space for that long, I could tell he was dying. Like on the plane, when we finally took off, he like stood up in the plane too, and I was just like, ooh, he's really suffering right now. He's just standing there holding on to the walls. It was pretty funny. Anyways,
I was just reflecting on the amazing experience that we had while we were in Boston. We went to the National Association of REALTORS Expo in Boston, Massachusetts this weekend.
It was amazing.
It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep.
And I think what's cool is, every time we do one of these conferences, we come back and talk about it. And the reason why we share that with you guys, this isn't going to be a podcast about here's like some amazing marketing tips and strategies and tracking your ROI and metrics and everything, but it's just kind of doing life together. Like we're constantly learning in our business. We're constantly finding out
That's a great way to
kind
put
of
it.
how to interact or how to even sell ourselves, how to put our value proposition out there, and then getting feedback from our clients who are the people that we ultimately serve.
Yep.
So that's why we want to come back, and we always recap these things.
You want to
do a lot of really solid takeaways from this.
Oh man, we had incredible takeaways. You want to do what companies do, not what they say. Yeah. That's why I think, we like to share these recaps when we go to Marketo conferences.
Because we'll tell you where we messed up.
Yeah, well, exactly. We'll tell you, this is exactly what we did, and this is what we had success in, and this is where we utterly failed. We utterly failed. But it really was amazing. Although my feet, standing at a conference, anybody who's done a trade show, when you're standing all day, every day, and you're pitching your little heart out, my little heart was just I was pitching it, right? Every single day.
That's the Southern coming out of Luke right there.
And I bless my heart. But my knees are swollen. And I'm freaking 30, dude.
You're going to the gym every morning at 4 a.m.?
Well, not every morning because we went out for drinks and that didn't go over too well. So I went one morning.
But it is. It's a marathon. Unlike most conferences where there would be some downtime. We would have some expo time and then some downtime. This was
no downtime.
From 9 to 6 almost every day.
I literally pitched. The conference would start at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I literally pitched and would blink my eyes. It'd be 4 o'clock. I probably would do a couple hundred easy, 300 pitches a day.
It is a testament to endurance and pushing yourself.
Yep.
So like being able to somehow dig deep, get the fortitude to push yourself consistently over and over. You have to have the passion for it. If you don't have the passion for it, run. It ain't gonna work for you.
Man, there were a lot of people there. And I'm sorry, guys, if you watch our podcast, I'm not beating you up, but maybe this will hit you in the heart. There were a lot of people there, man, that had no passion. I told Josh, I said, man, I don't wake up to die, guys. I do not wake up to die. I wake up to live. Meaning, like, I couldn't, like, looking around at some of the vendors and stuff like this, and this is not an attack on who they are as a person, but, good gosh, man. If you're going to an event, don't sit in your seat. Jeez,
yeah, number one tip for events, don't avoid people.
Yes, that's one of the first tips we found out. You got to step out of your comfort zone. Dean Thurman, who I don't think we've released his podcast, but he had this mantra he lived by. And you might find it a little corny, but the truth is so real. You got to get out on the limb. Because that's where the fruit is, right? Yeah. That's where the good fruit is. But here's what I would say. When I walked into the convention center, because let's get into the takeaways of this podcast.
Yeah.
I walk into the convention center, and this is great for you guys, even our producers back there listening too. This is a great point. I shared it with my sales team. When you walk in, you're nervous. I'm the president of the company. You're nervous from this standpoint. There's 400 other vendors there. There's going to be 20,000 people there supposedly. And you know what you have to commit to? You have to commit to being great. And you know why people don't commit to being great? Because once you make a commitment to being great, once you make a commitment to sales, once you pull up your Instagram and say, I'm going to get this many sales, you know what you have to do now?
You
have to live up to it. You have to live up to the sales, and you have to live up to being great. And the reason why you don't want to do that, you want to hide, and you'll be like, well, I'm just going to sit in my little corner and hide. It's because you don't want to face that commitment. And guess what? Failure hurts. And you're scared of the rejection that's going to happen to you when it hurts, because I didn't hit my goal. And that irritated me to death. Still irritates me. If you can't tell, I've lost my voice a little bit. The point I'm trying to make is the first takeaway I would give you: don't wake up to die, wake up to live. When you go to your trade show, when you go to your networking event, you gotta go out on the limb, far out on the limb, because that's where the good fruit is. But meaning you gotta commit to, I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna what? What does that translate to into action? I'm gonna step outside my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because once you get outside your comfort zone, change happens. And that change...
I've heard that life begins at the edge of your comfort zone.
Someone quote that on our Instagram. Life begins at the edge of your comfort zone.
So anyways, going into that,
step out.
So number one, step out. Draw people to you. So this is kind of what we were looking
Personality.
at. Where, you know, comparing kind of what we were doing to what other people were doing, and just sitting back. And I know Jesse and I were running a lot of kind of like the booth operations and stuff. And obviously we were out there talking to people as well, but just trying to keep all the stuff moving and watching, you know,
Jesse, who's our brand content manager, closed 4 deals.
There you go.
4.5, because I stole one of the deals from her. I'm famous for that because I just want to take people from people. I'm just like, give me a chance. But 4.5 deals, and she's our brand content manager. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear that? That's the hype horn.
That's the hype button right there.
But that's impressive. So if you're the brand content manager at your company, if you're the accountant at your company.
Oh, I'm not a salesperson.
Of course you're a salesperson. Do you believe in the mission of your company? Share the mission of your company. That's what you're really selling people on. You're not selling them on features. Features tell, benefits sell.
But how do you get them in? So this applies, like I said, this applies to a conference, this applies to a networking event. If you're going somewhere to meet somebody, how do you get them in? You have to approach them. Nobody is walking up to anybody in hopes to give them money or to buy from them or to hear what you need.
Yep.
Right? So you have to go out and get them. You have to approach them and come up with, we were talking about this before the podcast, how do we kind of turn that into a piece of advice? It's really, what's your opening line? What is your hook that you can say over and over and over again? The number of times that I heard Luke say this at the conference, and then we all started doing it at the conference, was, hey, have you heard of us?
Yep.
Oh, no? Oh, can I give you my quick 30 seconds? It's 30-second pitch. Can I try it on you? I've been practicing it.
There are salespeople that we're talking to. Although one lady told me she doesn't like to be called a salesperson. And she kind of beat me up for that, which I loved her. She signed up, so she gave us a chance. But the point being is that you're just stepping out of your comfort zone. Hey, you heard about us? Hey, well, let me give you my very best 30 seconds, and you can time me. Get your watch out. You can time me because you're going to love this. And being confident, I would make that point that one of the reasons we have success with that line, because it's a confidence line in the standpoint of, hey, I want you to grade me on this. I want you to tell me what you think about this, because I really believe it. I believe I would tell people it's going to be the best 30 seconds of your life. It's going to be worth it. Now, they would start laughing at me, of course. I said, I promise I won't QVC you because you sound like a used car salesman or QVC, but you're embracing it. And that's maybe another point. I'm getting ahead of our point. But
good.
The authenticity
it's
of
the personality
just
behind
being real.
It. Right.
Hey, I know I'm about to QVC you. I know I'm about to give you my 30 seconds. One of the lines I used on people all the time, which was a real line, was, hey, ride this elevator pitch with me. The elevator might go all the way to the top, and we might start coming back down a little, but I promise you I'm going to get you there. Meaning the point being is you just have fun with it. You step outside your comfort zone, you have fun with it. How do you apply that to the open house? I coached a guy, a real estate agent. He wanted to get, and I've shared this story on the podcast before, he wanted to get 90% of his deals from open houses, but he would not get people to sign in that didn't want to sign in to his open house. And I said, dude, what are you doing? You want 90% of your deals to come from open houses. And he would not, you know why he said? Because he figured the people who didn't want to sign in, they weren't interested.
Right.
Which is so not true. Mel, if you listen to this, because they put Mel on her name tag, but her real name's Melanie. So Mel, if you're listening to this, thank you for giving me a chance, but telling you the story in my mind, you walked 15 feet past our booth, and I didn't yell, but I was just like, hey, have you heard about us? Stopped you when you're 15 feet away, and you came back and you ended up giving us a chance. Your open house, when you don't get them to sign in, they're walking past your booth. It's up to you to confidently, passionately, not rude, with personality, with passion, being able to start a conversation, get them to sign in, because you never know. It's a numbers game. And I remember you said you should tell your story of the deal. I probably stole it from you. But is you never know who's going to sign up and who's not.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to every single person because you never know who your buyer is.
Yeah. No, there was somebody walking by that I had made eye contact with her. I'd called out to them and they didn't hear me, so I just kind of let it go. And then they walked by Luke and Luke called out twice. And then brought him back in and they ended up joining the program.
Signing up.
You changed their life because you just called out twice.
Yeah, I just called out to him.
But it is, I think that, going back to the open house, not wanting to ask someone to sign up or
sign in for just sign in their
people
name.
that said that they don't want to sign in. Like, it's okay to ask why.
Yeah.
It's okay to ask, any reason why you wouldn't want to sign in?
Or trust me, it will be worth it.
Yeah.
I know you think it'll spam you. Trust me, I won't spam you. It will be worth it.
Yeah.
Sign in.
So another thing that we learned, this is where we went wrong.
Smile and nod. I'm telling you, smiling and nodding. I don't know, Jesse's smiling back there and nodding right now. Trust me, smiling and nodding at people when you go, hey, come over here, and they don't want to, and they look at you like, and you just go, come on over, and you smile. Now you guys got to watch our YouTube video because I just smiled really creepy at the camera. The smiling and nodding goes such a long way. I know Tom Hopkins, who's a famous sales trainer, he would always say that at the end when he closes, say very little and just go, hey, I just need you to, put your okay here and here, and just look at them and smile and nod. And just psychologically, they just are looking at you like, I guess I have to do it. You're just smiling at me. And anyways.
No, I mean, that's all.
Take it from there, Josh.
No, the second thing that we really kind of reflected on was a lot of people, it's hard at a conference, it's hard at a networking event, and for you guys as salespeople, it's hard sitting down at the listing presentation and seeing someone say like, oh, let me think about it, I need to think about it, or I'll call you back tomorrow, or let's meet again, or something like that. And this is really kind of the first night was the hardest because it was so fast. Happy hour had already started, so
which helped us a little bit.
Hurt us in other areas, but we're thinking, oh, we got 3 days ahead of us. Everyone who said they're going to come back, well, they'll come back.
Yep.
You look at they're telling you they'll come back.
How many of you guys believe that they're going to come back, man? Whew.
Yeah.
This is a hard truth for salespeople to learn.
It is. I mean, it leads to that decision. I know your brother has gone through this specifically. I think you told the story on the podcast.
He did not believe me the first time, and he would have testified to this. He did not believe, and most salespeople don't. I have 65 salespeople, like closer salespeople on my floor. Then we have another 50-something that do the upsells, cross-sales, account management stuff. And guys, everybody starts out the same. Oh, they're definitely going to take my call. They're definitely going to come back. I'm telling you, man, 9 times out of 10, they don't come back. We experienced it at the booth. It's the listing presentation. You get out of there without the listing signature. I'm not saying you're never going to get that listing. You ain't going to get that listing. What is the saying? Buyers are liars.
Yeah.
And it's not. I always got to be careful.
They're not lying on purpose.
It's not lying.
Look,
like they're
I have been to trade shows. I have literally said to people, yeah, I'll come back and check it out later. I'm getting all the information. I'll be back. You get busy. There's 400 vendors there. You get, you go out for lunch the next day. You get put into a session, and now all of a sudden your mindset's thinking about legal things, and you're no longer thinking about marketing things. Translate
this to why you don't get repeat business.
Yeah.
It's not because they don't want to use you. It's convenience. It literally is convenience. They weren't thinking about you. I told the story one time, I think on this podcast, of my best friend and roommate in college. He sold cell phones. I went and bought an iPhone for my wife for her birthday. I didn't buy it from him.
Yeah.
And I used Verizon, and he worked at Verizon.
Now,
I wasn't thinking of it.
Have the emotional intelligence to recognize when you're pushing someone past their comfort zone. Obviously, you don't want to offend someone, be rude, be overly aggressive to the point where they'll never consider you again. But you want to push far enough to help them understand that, look, you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff. You're going to be getting out there. If this is a sales presentation you're doing on your own, you're going to get back to life. You're going to get busy. You're going to start working on all this other stuff, and this thing's going to end up on a pile of good ideas.
Yes.
Don't let one other thing end up on a pile of good ideas, because as we say at the end of every single podcast, the difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer is top producers take action. That happens with the same thing with the tools and the marketing and the pieces that you buy for your business. If you know it's a good idea, pull the trigger. If you can afford it, if it fits within your budget and it makes sense for your business, don't throw it into the bag. Don't throw it into another pile of good ideas, because you're going to forget about it. You're going to get busy. You're not going to come back to it. And then
you know what you're doing
6 months from now, you're going to think, why didn't I do that thing?
You know what you're doing there? You're speaking truth. Like, the key to sales is speaking truth, selling people logically, right? Closing them emotionally. So logic is, it's the pile of good ideas, because we all have that. right? So a listing presentation, you might not say it's the pile of good ideas, but you can logically talk to them about how you understand that they would want to think about it, that you understand that they would want to compare you to other real estate agents. In fact, I saw this amazing pitch by a real estate agent. This is a great tip for all my realtors out there, is that they came to the listing presentations with all the other real estate agents' facts and stats. They go, hey, I totally appreciate you would want to see what other real estate agents are doing. You know, I don't really consider myself to have competition, but I guess that's really what you have to, you know, say. And so here I already have them for you, and look how I stack up compared to them. Meaning like being prepared, but what you're doing is you're tapping into the truth. And I'll be honest with you guys, I pitched hundreds of people every single day. I messed up one time. And no, I messed up multiple times on the pitch, but making someone mad, pushing too far. So that came across the wrong way. Hey, quote that. I messed up one time. No, what I meant by that is I pushed somebody too hard, but I don't even know what I did. But I remember talking to Nick, who's our sales director. I said, something I did there, I don't know what I did, but I did something off because the tone changed and my emotional EQ was off. It was like I had them.
Fatigue was setting in at
maybe
that point.
Maybe it was what it was. But I recognized it, and you got to learn from it. But I don't know what I did. I wish I remembered what I did, but I don't know what I did. They just kind of shut down on me.
Nick, come on the podcast.
Yeah, Nick, tell me what I did.
Can we get Nick on the line?
You know what I did? I was too hyped to QVC. That's what it was.
Maybe.
QVC.
Maybe. But yeah, you have to read the situation.
People appreciate it, and this is a tip for you guys because you're pitching, you know, at networking events, stuff like that. People appreciate when you tell them what you're doing. When you tell them you're selling them, they appreciate that. Grant Cardone says, state your intention. So my intention, like when you go into your insurance pitch, my intention is to get you signed up with my life insurance. You're not hiding anything. You're not trying to, they don't feel manipulated. They don't feel like you're, you know, giving this presentation and they sit there the whole time listening to your spiel going, oh, this guy, he wants me to sign up for this. But if you start your presentation going, Ariel, my intention is I want to pitch this to you and I want you to sign up for it.
I want you to get this.
Yeah, I want to show you what I can bring to the table for this life insurance policy for you and your family and why it will be worth it. Now you hear the whole pitch, what? Through a different lens. You hear the whole pitch through a lens of, okay, now I'm really paying attention. So many salespeople don't state their intention.
Yeah.
And that's why I would go,
and as a prospect, all that you're doing is you're on the defensive. You're just waiting for the time that you can jump in and tell them, wait a minute, you're just selling me.
Yeah, you're trying to deceive me, not deceive me, but you're trying to sell me.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell me.
So another thing that we came up with, and this will be something that I think we get into on the podcast next week with, I'm hoping Phoenix will join us for the podcast next week.
Phoenix is amazing, guys. This will be one of the best podcasts that you've ever heard. This is somebody that's been with us for over 10 years.
Over 10 years. Yeah, she's
an expert marketing coach. Boots on the ground, grinds it out. I just want to give a plug for that podcast because it is going to be an incredible podcast.
So hopefully we get her on because she's going to talk about helping how to leverage referrals, testimonials, how to get like testimonials from your clients. But that was the other big thing I think that we were able to do really well, thanks to Jesse. Anytime that someone came by, a client of ours came by and they had something nice to say, we were able to ask them right away, hey, can we film?
Would you say that again exactly like that?
Like that
on this camera?
With the mic and a camera. But it's cool. If you watch our Facebook video, all of those clients came up and said all of that completely unsolicited. And then they turned around, we got them behind the booth, we got them in front of our sign and had them say it again. Now there was about maybe 5 of them that also said no.
Yep, some said no. Yeah. But I think where this is really, really practical is you're at the closing table and what happens after the closing table. They go, man, thank you so much. When you do that, just go, hey, would you mind if I just, would you say that on camera? I would love to put that on my website. Pull out your cell phone, film that little video. What'd you say? Send it to your kids who do iMovie?
Send it to your nephew who knows iMovie.
Yeah, your nephew who knows iMovie. There was a Fall Out Boy concert. I have to mention this for all of my National Association of Realtor friends out there. The Fall Out Boy concert was hilarious. There is nothing funnier than watching a bunch of real estate agents sit there at a concert for Fall Out. I love you guys. But that was the greatest. Man, Jesse and I had a blast just watching.
Nick and I decided to watch the Packers game instead.
But you guys met an amazing owner.
Ed White, Ed White. Out of Northern New Jersey. Yeah, he was awesome.
But guys, Fall Out Boy, real estate agents at a Fall Out Boy concert, amazing. Love you guys. guys.
But look, so what we're saying is, if you hear someone say something nice about you, if you're in the coffee shop and you run into a client and they're raving about how much they love their home, ask them if you can use that. If they don't want to be on video, have them write something up. Pull up your phone on their, or have them pull up your site on Facebook, right? And just show them how to put a recommendation in for your Facebook page. Clients love to do that stuff. I mean, if I run into a company, we don't go to a ton of trade shows as consumers, but if I was to run into a company that we do marketing, with, that we really love, I would absolutely love to sing their praises. I don't want to have to think about how to do it, but if they point me exactly to how to do it, or they give me the opportunity to coach me along, then I would absolutely do that.
They helped us sign up clients.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
There's someone who walked by and shouted out.
I cannot thank you guys enough. I mean, it was, if you guys watch this podcast, to our clients out there, I cannot thank you guys enough. I mean, you were amazing. I was literally signing up a couple people, and we were at the close, and you know how it is at the close, sometimes you have to, earn people's business by really asking for the order over and over and over again. And as I'm trying to, really earn these people's business by showing them the value that we can provide, one of our clients came down the aisle unsolicited and just yelled, "ReminderMedia, I love you guys." I mean, and then there was a whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. And then like some Indian chant. That was crazy. It was like, it was a hoop. Yeah, it was a hoop and holler. It was like, it was awesome. It was the most amazing thing. And then those people gave us a chance, and it just shows you that, what your clients say about you speaks so much more than what you say about yourself. I could give the most amazing pitch, but it wouldn't matter. It's what your clients and results say about you, and that was just incredible.
We're going to get one of these sound effects the next time that we go to a conference. Anytime a client comes by. Is that picking up, awesome. Ariel? Can you hear that?
Oh yeah, Ariel, she's like, stop doing that. That's so annoying.
So here's one that we messed up on.
Okay,
we want to give some advice on.
We felt kind of bad. As we speak about how much we love our clients for helping us. As we speak about
how much we love our clients, we did not have anything for our current clients there at the event. So this was something that
we had swag on the table.
We had swag, yes,
but
and we even have these nice
dedicated for our clients.
We have these nice client gift boxes with little pens in them that we carry around to when we do testimonial videos or we do editorial videos.
Big mistake.
We didn't have anything on hand for them, and we ended up giving them a bonus. So we're calling them after the fact. We're giving them a little bit of a bonus as a thank you for stopping by. But it's just something to think about, whether it's in your car, whether it's in your purse, whether it's something that you keep in your office close by, so that whenever you do run into a client that has had a good experience with you, you just have something there to say thank you. Obviously, you can't be carrying around gift boxes everywhere you go to the grocery store. But think about kind of what can I have on hand that now what we did do. Obviously, we gave them a card that just let them know about our referral deal. So we had something there that if they were able to bring something.
But we were in the mindset of all about us. We were in the taking mindset, and it was so clear when we got there.
I don't think we realized how many clients we would meet.
Yeah, we were just not. We messed up on that one. We just did not. We were not thinking, what can we give our raving fans just to show them how much we love them? And we had these amazing shirts that said, "I like your face." They were really, really popular. T-shirts that said, "I like your face" on the front. And then on the back, it said it should be on a magazine. And so we had a ton of clients that wanted.
I gave two of mine away.
Yeah, you gave them away.
I had to switch to the polos on day 3 because I'd given my shirts away. Nick gave one of his away. So, so we did give our shirts off our backs.
Yeah, because we felt really bad.
We felt so bad.
We really did, man.
So that's another great thing to take away. And then we talked about this a little bit, but really the realism, the authenticity, the personality that you bring, not trying to put on an act or a persona whenever you're speaking to prospects or whenever you're speaking to clients. Really focus on trying to loosen up, and it comes with practice. I think it really comes with practice.
Yeah, because practice breeds confidence.
I'm not on the phones. I'm not selling every day. I'm not a natural salesperson, right? I'm an introvert. I'm the marketing guy. I like to be the guy behind the scenes making the things happen. So first day was actually a little bit easier because there's so much energy. Second day, it was a little bit harder, but as you start to do it over and over and over again, you start realizing, okay, this is my rhythm. This is my own personality coming back out. I wasn't trying to emulate somebody else.
Practice breeds confidence. It really does. It's just literally inaction inspires more action. Inaction inspires more inaction. So the more you step outside your comfort zone, the easier it gets. And it literally is, because even people think, because I am a salesperson, obviously everybody who watches this knows right away that oh my gosh, I'm a salesperson, I'm an extrovert, I'll go into a room and talk to anybody.
Luke is the highest I, if you guys know DISC, Luke is the highest I that I know.
Yes.
You are in the far right corner, like the bottom right corner.
What was crazy when I took the disc, it tells you what you feel you need to be more of. I felt like I needed to be more eye. And there was no more eye to go. But what's funny is that even though for someone like me, who's the highest I, right, in my personality, I still have to tell myself, to psych myself up to go, I told Nick this, I said, I will not let a single person walk by I'm going to talk to every single person. I have to force myself, I have to make a mental commitment, and it gets easier. The more I yelled out corny to people, the more it became easier.
Well, it's fun. There was this couple that came up, two women, I think that they worked in the same office or they were partners. And the one was like super energetic, super outgoing. And she was talking to me a little bit at the beginning and then naturally kind of went over and started talking to you and Nick. And then her partner kind of came over to me and we started talking. And I don't remember how it came out. I think we were talking about the concert and she said that her friend was wanting to go. And we were just kind of chatting about personalities. Yep. And she asked if I had ever done disc and what I was. And I said, I'm a high S. And she said, I'm a high S too. And it was
You're like, oh, did we just become best friends?
This exciting little moment where we knew we could just kind of stand there in silence and just kind of enjoy the company and support others.
Oh, it's so good. That's so good. I think in this authenticity, though, what I would tell you guys is that what ultimately matters is your passion for what you're doing, and that is not something that you just have, it's something you commit to. I think people make the mistake all the time that they think I wake up every single day with this weird inside of me, this belief and passion for ReminderMedia that is different than most people. No, like everything in life, you commit. If you want to be passionate about basketball, I mean, yeah, you might have a natural inclination to it, but it's the amount of work you put in. And you know how I know this for sure? Because I grew up and my passion was music. I was a kid that played 4 to 5 hours a day because I was homeschooled. And it's not that I've lost my passion for music at all. Did I have a natural inclination for music? Can I hear music and stuff like that? Of course. But it was because I started practicing it and I started to get really into it. And it just, that action breeds more action. I just got more and more into it. Now, I don't play music nearly as much anymore, right? And my passion has become really ReminderMedia, but you make a commitment to it and you push towards it and it becomes just like, it's like, I'm not sure what you call it, like a pinwheel. You know how a pinwheel or a flywheel, that's what it is. Flywheel, when it starts going, it's just, and then all of a sudden it just becomes so
rotation
easy.
After rotation.
It becomes easier and easier, man. So anyways,
we
envision yourself as a pinwheel, ladies and gentlemen.
Super enjoyed our experience. Wanted to share that with you. I don't know if Luke, if you had any other, that was kind of our major takeaways. I don't know if you had any other.
Well, here's what one of the major takeaways I would give you is the one I gave you in the beginning, which is just what blew my mind the most was the lack of wanting to talk to people.
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling. And I think to myself, how many of you guys, and I'm not talking about real estate agents, I'm talking about other vendors, and what spoke to me so much was just like, what's gonna separate you is your commitment to when you wake up today and going, I'm going to choose to make the phone calls I don't wanna make. I'm gonna choose to talk to every single person that comes through that open house. I have a high I, so it's a little maybe easier naturally for me to do that. But I still have to make that commitment at that open house. You're an S, it's maybe harder for you.
Life began at the edge of discomfort.
You, Josh, and Jessie, I use Jessie as our brand content manager because I think it speaks volumes. She talked to more people than some of the people that were around us. I was just like, it was blown away because I'm just thinking to myself, the lesson in there for me, and this is not, if you guys hear this as an attack on the other people, it's not, it's just trying to pull out what you can learn to get better, is that the lesson in there is that it doesn't matter what your personality necessarily is. It might make things a little easier in certain situations, a little harder in others. It matters your commitment to it. This podcast is all about taking action, and I think to myself, we walked away closing, and I say closing, really gaining a ton of clients, because I don't want to say closing, I want to say gaining a ton of new relationships and clients.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, beautiful, huh? It's beautiful. Gaining a ton of new clients, tons of new potential, and it would have never happened if we didn't make a commitment to saying everybody who walks by our booth, we believe so much in our mission, i.e., I believe so much in my ability as a real estate agent to get the home sold that I'm going to talk to everybody who comes to my open house. I.e., I believe so much in the health insurance or life insurance that I'm selling that I'm going to be willing to actually talk to everybody I meet about what I do and not be scared of being labeled as the insurance salesman. That is what will separate you as a top producer. That is why some companies go to great and some companies stay at good and ultimately die. You're either growing or you're dying. You're stagnant, you're dying. So you're either growing or you're dying. So where are you at? What bucket are you in? That's really what, man, this conference just freaking inspired me that way, man.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're new, if you took one of our Stay Paid cards while you're at the conference and you're checking us out, we really appreciate you listening to do the podcast. We'd love to know what your thoughts are. I know that was like the one biggest thing that I was hoping to get was some new people checking us out and letting us know, because we'd love to hear what you guys think of the podcast.
Oh man, it was an amazing meeting you guys. And we're going to find out how American Airlines customer service is. So we'll keep you guys tuned in for our next podcast because we changed our flight. We were flying from, Josh was like, where are you going with this? We changed our flight from Boston to Philly to be earlier because it was at 8:30. The conference ended a little earlier, breakdown time than we thought. So we changed it to like 4 o'clock and we paid to do that, but our flights all got delayed until 8:30. So we ended up sitting there on the tarmac for like a couple hours. We were talking about it. So it'll be interesting to see, just because we're a sales and marketing company, I'm interested to see American Airlines customer service. I'll fill you guys in on how it went. A little teaser for the next podcast.
I like it. That's a cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger,
You're going to have to wait till next Tuesday.
Tag them in this podcast, too. Maybe this is my strategy to sell them on giving me a discount. I don't know.
There you go. Well, if you like what you heard today on Stay Paid, please go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, and make sure to leave a comment. You can also find our podcast in video on youtube.com/ReminderMedia. Make sure to tell someone else about the podcast today. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like to get hold of me or Luke, please email us at podcast@remindermedia.com.
Please, we'd love to hear from you.
Or find us on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm Josh Stike, and Luke is at Luke Acree. And of course, you can check out Reminder Media on social media. We are at Reminder Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Andrea's giving the thumbs up.
No, she's giving like the fist.
The fist pump. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Acree, guys. And what do you think my action item's going to be? Here it is. The people you meet this week in your social routine, the people you meet this week in your business, tell them what you do. I challenge you to give them your 30-second value proposition. If you can't sum up what you do in 30 seconds, then practice. Now, I probably never went 30 seconds, but practice. Pitch it.
You got to start somewhere. Everybody, start at 30, goes
exactly.
to 40.
Start at 30, goes to 2 minutes. Start at 30, go to 2 minutes with everybody you meet. Right? That's the action item from this podcast. I guarantee you might gain a client like we gained with Mel. Mel, thank you so much for giving us a chance. But the point being is she walked 15 feet away from our booth. We called her back, and she gave us a chance. We gained a new relationship, a new client. You never know. When you give that 30 seconds to the person at the gym, you might get your next $1 million listing. Difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer is top producers take action. So take action on that this week. Love you guys.